Hello and welcome again. My name is Imran Siraj and we are studying a subject called Strength of Material. We are in the last phase of this syllabus. Uh, this is BTech Mechanical 4th semester engineering subject of Maharishi Dayanand University syllabus. And our college, St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, is affiliated with MDU's Rohtak. So we are having this syllabus and we have almost finished, but we are in the last legs of this strength material. So today we'll be studying springs. So spring is basically a coil of wire that is used to buffer the shocks and loads, and this could be either way. uh, Sometimes in most of the cases we apply pull and the spring opens up. Once we release the load, the spring comes to its original position. And on the other cases we have compressed springs where we do apply compressive force, and springs compresses at the time when it is the force is applied, when the compressive load is applied, and once the load or force is removed, it comes to its original position. It has many advantages and many applications. First application is that in shockers, normally we do use these kind of coil springs or leaf springs where the automobile is passing by a road and a falls in the road, and this way the tire or the wheel comes down and the spring expands, and once it comes out of the pit, again the spring comes to its normal position. So this way it absorbs shock, and this shock is not transferred to the uh, passengers who are sitting in the automobile. So it is applicable everywhere. So there are many types of springs. We'll be discussing a few here. And of course, first of all, we'll be discussing helical springs. Helical springs are the coil of wires such that it forms a helix. A helix is a geometrical shape that is like circular shape, like round shape, but it is going outwards. So this is called a helix, and this is we have this way we this name is this spring is known as helical spring. So helical spring is two types. One is closed type, another is open type. In open type spring, we have both the ends open, and whereas in closed coil, the ends are tucked together so that there is no end coming out of the coil. So a wire or bar is wound in such a way that it forms a helix. It's called helical spring. Types of helical spring: closed coil and then open coil spring. So this is the terminology that is used. R is the radius of the coil. Capital R is the radius of the coil. So this is the outer dia of the coil. Then small d is the wire dia of the wire that is used for making helical spring. Then delta is the deflection of coil, and W is the load that is being applied or exerted. N is equal to number of coils or turns. So in this spring we are looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 turns we are looking. So this is number of coils or turns. W is the load applied, and then angle of twist. Theta is angle of twist, that is upon application how much the spring twist. This is angle of twist. So L is the length of the wire. L is the length of the wire, and this is given by 2 pi r n. This is 2 pi r into number of turns, 2 pi r into n. Then tau is the shear stress that is produced in the helical spring. Then IP is the polar moment of inertia, and it is given by pi by 32 d raised power 4 shear stress tau. So then this way, this is the terminology and this is basic nomenclature. And after that we come to the shear stress. How much shear stress is generated? Shear stress we have earlier studied in the last few two lectures. We were discussing about the shear stress produced in the coils. So IP equals C theta by L equals tau by R. Once again I repeat, T is the torque, IP is the polar moment of inertia, C is the bulk modulus, and theta is the angle of twist, L is the length, tau is shear stress, and R is the radius. So this way we can find P or torque is equal to tau IP by R. So combining first and last, we'll be getting torque. Torque equals tau into IP divided by R. Substituting the value of IP polar moment of inertia pi d raised power 4 by 32, and then we have radius d by 2. So substituting d by 2 comes in the numerator, and this way we find shear stress as 16 Wr by pi d cube. So it's dividing 2 by 32. So W is the weight that is applied, R is the radius of the coil, pi d cube, D is the dia of the wire, and weight is the W. So shear stress in this helical coil spring is 16 Wr by pi d cube. Again, T equals W into R. We know this is the basic reaction. Torque, weight multiplied by radius. So if we substitute the value of T here, so we'll be finding again clubbing first and second, taking first two parts. T equals IP equals C theta by L, denotes theta equals T into L, IP into C theta. Theta is equal to T into L, IP theta equals T, keeping theta one side, taking all other parameters on the other side, T into L divided by IP into C, CIP. Theta equals TL by CIP. Now substituting the value of T equals W into R, torque, weight multiplied by radius. So this way, substituting the value of T, will be finding WR into length 2 pi R N into 32, since R, since T torque W into R, length 2 pi R N, C IP is polar moment of inertia, pi d cube, pi d power 4 by 32. So 32 coming into horizontal into numerator, and then W into R pi 2 pi R N into 32 by C into pi d raised power 4. This way it comes out 64 WR square N divided by CD raised power 4. Since pi is cancelled out and 32 is multiplied by 2, so we'll be getting theta, the angle of deflection, as 64 WR square into N is the number of coil,